Hey, remember that infamously tragic newscast from 2005? The one where a young guy apparently went on camera for the first time and seemed to have no idea what to do or say for 4 whole minutes?
Hello everyone. Well, the Ball State softball team continued to play this weekend, and they were hoping to continue off of their straight 3 out of 4 losses. And so we'll take a look and see how that happened. They started off good, but then eventually, the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly. Oh no. Tomorrow's game will be the meeting between the two, beating both. First, Hoosiers are on the 4 on the year, and they have won 6 of its last 7 games. Tomorrow will be the game 3 at 3 p.m. Steven Jackson's David. Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good. Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
I'm talking, of course, about the infamous boom goes the dynamite guy. His delivery starts off pretty decent, but after only a few seconds, he starts to really struggle, and it becomes really obvious that he has no clue what to say and is just making stuff up.
They started off good, but then eventually, the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly. Oh no.
This was basically me every time I had to give a presentation in front of a class in school. So what's the story behind this clip, and what happened to the newscaster afterwards? My first thought on seeing this clip was, why did they put someone on air with 0 experience? And why did he seem to have no clue what to say? Or did he know what to say, but he just panicked or something? Well, it turns out that this broadcast was from 2005 from the student-run broadcast at a school called Ball State University, and the newscaster in the video's name is Brian Collins. He was only 19 at the time and a freshman. So why was he on camera and seemingly so unprepared? Well, according to Business Insider, Brian Collins was shooting video for Newslink at 9 when he found out that the regular sports anchor was sick. A college news broadcast would seemingly make for great practice in getting to read the news on camera. So the 19-year-old freshman saw this as a good opportunity to kickstart his young career. So he actually volunteered for it. But why did he volunteer to do it if he was so uncomfortable being in front of a camera? Maybe he thought it was going to be easy, but when he actually got in front of the camera, he froze under the pressure or something? Actually, there were some things going on behind the scenes that were the main cause of Brian's extremely awkward delivery. It turns out that whoever was working the teleprompter was also not very experienced, and they ran through the script way too fast for Brian to read. For the first 20 seconds or so, Brian does a pretty decent job at delivering the news and doesn't seem very nervous at all. But after that, you can hear him say somewhat quietly, "Oh no."
And ended up doing poorly. Oh no.
When I first saw the clip, I initially thought that that was a reaction to the score that he was talking about, but actually that's when the teleprompter messed up and he was left completely on his own. According to my sources, he did have a backup copy of the script in his hands, but the pages weren't in the right order, so they were pretty much useless. And that is why he struggled so much to make up whatever he could to fill the 4-minute time slot. I'm not sure why whoever was in charge of the cameras didn't cut away from him and say that they were having technical difficulties or something, and it's not totally clear to me where this Ball State news broadcast actually aired and how widespread the audience was. Based on everything I've read, I assume that it wasn't broadcast on public television. I think it might have only been broadcast within the university itself. But unfortunately for Brian, the incident didn't just disappear. Brian Collins thought he could just leave it behind and let time heal all wounds. Unfortunately for him, someone from the Newslink at 9 show took the clip and uploaded it onto eBomb's World on April 1st, 2005. Big f*** you to whoever uploaded that video, by the way. And as we all know, the video completely blew up and Brian became famous for all the wrong reasons. So how did Brian handle his unwanted internet fame? Well, according to these articles, he was initially upset about it, understandably, but apparently some of the staff from Ball State University talked to him about it and helped him accept the situation. He has also said that he got a lot of hate mail and phone calls from random people because of the incident. What the fuck is wrong with people? Why would you see someone embarrassed on TV and be like, I really need to let this guy know that I hate him? But there was some good that came out of this unfortunate incident. In June of 2005, David Letterman, the famous talk show host, got in contact with Brian and invited him to come onto his show. Letterman, it turns out, is also a Ball State graduate, so I guess he felt some empathy toward Brian and wanted to help him out. For some reason, I could not find any clips of Brian on the David Letterman show. Apparently, his appearance was limited to just a short in-audience segment, which may be why there's not any clips of it anywhere. But Letterman did pay to fly Brian, his dad, and his roommate out to the show. Then within the same week, Brian also made an appearance on CBS's Early Show. There is a 1-minute clip of that interview on YouTube, and it's basically just the host asking Brian where he got the phrase, "boom goes the dynamite," and him explaining that it came from trash talking his friends while playing Mario Kart. And Brian also got some advice from a real ESPN SportsCenter anchor because of the incident. He even got an email from ESPN SportsCenter anchor Scott Van Pelt saying, "If this is the worst thing that ever happens to you, life will be good." Thanks, Scott. Scott's like, "I know this is terrible, but don't worry, it'll get even worse." I'm just kidding, of course. I know he was trying to help. The way he said it was just kind of funny. But what about Brian's career? Did this incident affect his job opportunities in any way? Or did all the hate and mockery cause him to give up on the idea of ever going in front of a camera again? He was a communications major after all. Presumably, he agreed to go on the air in order to get some experience and maybe do it professionally. Well, I have some good news. He was able to become a news reporter. According to his LinkedIn, he became a reporter for KXXV in 2008. Though, according to Brian, some of the people there were skeptical about hiring someone who was famous. Oh yeah, we wouldn't want too many people to watch our news broadcast. Gotta keep those ratings as low as possible. There are actually some clips of Brian reporting on YouTube that I found, and he does a really good job.
Yeah, Laurie, this is what the authorities are worried about. When this snow gets compacted down, it becomes a lot more ice.
We're already trying to meet those standards with healthier meals. For example, brown rice, salad, bananas, all part of the normal meal that you'll find here at this elementary school.
Looking at this, you would never know that the boom goes the dynamite incident had ever happened. And I have to give him credit for not letting it stop him from achieving his goals. It would take a lot of balls to go back on live television after an incident like that. After working for KXXV, Brian moved over to KSAX as a multimedia journalist in 2010, and then from 2011 until the present, he's been working as a content producer for Premier Content Source. So in the end, he overcame his embarrassing incident and still managed to do what he wanted to do. It just goes to show that if you don't give up, you can overcome and move past your mistakes. Like maybe eventually, everyone from my middle school will forget the time I shit my pants in English class at some point. But finally in 2011, Brian went on Tosh.0 to talk about the incident.
Boom! Get in!
All right.
I got a hot story.
Daniel, I don't think you can park here. This is a handicap spot.
Listen, between my IBS and your inability to read a teleprompter, I think we qualify. Let's go.
During the interview, he had this to say about it. Here's the thing, a lot of people forget this. That was college. And not only college, that was my freshman year. And first time being on air, period. I had never stepped in front of a camera really before then. And I was doing it on the fly too. And I was covering stuff that I really didn't know anything about. I just remember the seconds feeling like they were slowing down. I kept hoping that they were going to pull me, and they thought, nope, we're gonna let this happen. We're gonna enjoy this. And they also did a really funny reenactment of the original broadcast. This episode of Tosh.0 is free on YouTube if you want to watch it, so I'd highly recommend checking it out. I'll put a link to that video and to everything else I referenced down in the description. But it looks like today, Brian is able to look back on this incident and laugh at himself. So overall, this story had a happy ending. So the next time you do something really cringy, just remember that you can always move past it like Brian did. Anyways, I guess that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you liked the video, then please consider liking and subscribing, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.